Chosen ones. Stop scrolling right now. This is not a random moment. I am speaking to the one whose heart has been trembling in silence. The moment you are in is heavier than it looks, and I need you to hear me. I have seen the breath you held back in the dark. I have seen the way you smiled while carrying a private storm. I have seen the nights when you wondered if anything in your life was ever going to change. Listen to me, chosen one. This moment is more important than you realize. You may have thought it was just another ordinary day. You may have thought this was just another video, another passing word, another thing you would hear and forget. But I am telling you now, I interrupted your quiet place on purpose. I came for the weary warrior who has been fighting battles no one applauded. I came for the daughter who has cried over doors that stayed closed. I came for the son who kept moving while his own heart felt like it was breaking in two. I came for the one who has been asking, why now? Why this delay? Why this pain? Why this pressure? Because this moment, this exact moment, is a hinge in the spirit, and what happens in a hinge moment can change the whole door. I know what you have been carrying. I know about the financial pressure that has made you count every step. I know about the loneliness that sits beside you even in crowded rooms. I know about the rejection that wounded your confidence and tried to rename you. I know about the spiritual warfare that has felt relentless, like waves striking the same place over and over again. I know about the tears you did not speak out loud, the questions you buried deep, the promises you were afraid to believe again. You have been asking whether I still see you, whether I still remember the word I gave you, whether the dream I placed inside you is still alive, whether the delay means I changed my mind. No, I did not change my mind. No, I did not change my mind. What I planted, I still tend. What I promised, I still guard. What I began, I still finish. And this is why this moment matters more than you realize. Because in moments like this, hearts are either hardened by disappointment or made ready by trust. In moments like this, faith either grows roots or runs away. In moments like this, the hidden future begins to press against the visible present. You are not being passed by. You are being prepared. The weight on you is not proof that I abandoned you. Sometimes the weight is proof that something valuable is being forged. Gold is not praised while it is inside the fire, chosen one, but the fire is not destroying it. It is revealing what can survive. And what can survive me can carry glory. My child, pause here for a moment. If you can feel my presence in these words, if something inside you is awakening, then don't ignore this moment. Like this video, so this message reaches others I am calling right now. And in the comments, write these exact words. I receive this moment, Lord. Let it be your declaration, your agreement with me. Subscribe and turn on the bell, because I am not finished speaking to you. There is more I am about to reveal, and I want you ready. Do you hear me? This moment is more important than you realize because I am doing more than changing circumstances. I am changing alignment. I am changing appetite. I am changing discernment. I am changing the way you see yourself. I am changing the way you hear my voice. I am changing the way you hear my voice. I am changing what can no longer govern your spirit. You thought the delay was only delay, but I have been breaking hidden chains inside the delay. You thought the silence was empty, but I have been teaching your spirit to recognize me without noise. You thought the closed door was rejection, but some doors were closed to keep you from walking into what would have stolen your peace too early. There are places I refuse to let you enter yet, not because you were unwanted, but because you were unready for the weight of what was inside. There are things you begged me for that would have crushed the version of you that existed then. So I delayed to protect. I withheld to mature. I remained quiet to train your heart to trust me when you cannot trace me. And now the season is speaking. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? That is what I said in Isaiah 43:19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Hear that with your spirit, weary one. I am not merely touching your future. I am making a way in the wilderness, not after you find the answer, not after you solve every problem, not after everyone finally understands. I am making a way right there where it looked dry, where it looked impossible, where it looked like nothing could live. You have stood in wasteland places where your hope should have died, but it did not. Places where people expected you to collapse, but you kept standing. Places where even you were tempted to believe the story was over, but I kept your pulse steady in the dark. That is why this moment matters, because this is the moment before the shift becomes visible. This is the moment before the seed splits open. This is the moment before the answer reaches your hands. This is the moment before the tears that once fell in secret are replaced by tears of awe. And I need to tell you something with holy tenderness. Not every delay is an attack. Some delays are mercy. Some delays are surgery. Some delays are my hand saving you from what your emotions would have run toward too soon. You have not been forgotten in the waiting room of heaven. You have been seen. You have been measured. You have been held. You have been kept. The psalmist wrote, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit," in Psalm 34:18. Not far, not distracted, not busy with someone else. Near to the brokenhearted. Near to the one who could not make sense of the betrayal. Near to the one who keeps replaying the loss. Near to the one who thought they would be farther along by now. Near to the one who has been trying to pray while feeling like their prayers are bouncing off the ceiling. I am near. And because I am near, this moment is important. Because when I step close, things shift. Atmospheres bend. Confusion loosens. Oppression weakens. Eyes open. Hearts remember. You do not have to force this season to happen. You do not have to beg for what I already placed in motion. You do not have to chase what I am bringing toward you. You only need to remain rooted in me while I prepare the breakthrough. Listen carefully, chosen one. I am going to tell you why this moment is heavier than you think. It is because you are standing at the edge of a decision in the spirit, not just a decision about money, not just a decision about relationships, not just a decision about a job, a move, a message, or a door. A decision about trust. Will you trust me in the middle of not knowing? Will you trust me when the old patterns try to return? Will you trust me when the people who misunderstood you still have an opinion? Will you trust me when the enemy whispers that you missed your chance? Because I am telling you, you did not miss it. You are in it. And this is the kind of moment that divides the people who merely hear from the people who truly surrender. The people who can only worship when everything is visible, and the people who keep worshiping in the fog. The people who only believe when they can count the outcome, and the people who believe because I spoke. You are not just being comforted right now, you are being called higher. There is a deeper grace resting on you in this hour, a quieter grace, a stronger grace, a grace that does not need applause to continue, a grace that does not collapse when misunderstood. A grace that remains standing when emotions shake. And I will tell you this, the reason this moment matters so much is that I am using it to cut off what has tried to define you. I am cutting off the lie that says you are behind. I am cutting off the lie that says your life is ordinary and will remain ordinary. I am cutting off the lie that says the pain you experienced was wasted. I am cutting off the lie that says, because you were broken once, you will remain broken. I am cutting off the lie that says, I cannot restore what was damaged. I am cutting off the lie that says the enemy got the final word. He did not. I still speak over ruins. I still breathe over dry bones. I still raise what others labeled dead. I still restore years. I still redeem time. I still turn sorrow into testimony. The prophet Joel declares, "My heart clearly, I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten." That is Joel 2:25. The years, not only moments, not only opportunities, the years. Do you understand what that means for you? I am not limited to giving you a small consolation. I restore lost seasons. I restore pieces of self you thought were gone forever. I restore your hunger. I restore your hunger. I restore your hope. I restore your confidence. I restore your calling. I restore what grief tried to bury. So when I say this moment is important, I mean it. This is the moment where restoration begins to become recognizable. This is the moment where the pressure starts becoming purpose. This is the moment where the long silence begins to speak. This is the moment where what was hidden starts to surface. This is the moment where your inner world starts to line up with my truth again. And I know what you have been feeling. You have felt like the spiritual attack came at the very area where you were weakest. That is not imagination. The enemy studies pain. He tries to revisit old wounds. He tries to make a person bleed from places that have not fully healed. But hear me. What he targets, I can strengthen. What he touches, I can sanctify. What he tries to use for ruin, I can use for refinement. You have wondered why the pressure increased when you started praying more. You have wondered why the loneliness seemed stronger when you tried to obey. You have wondered why the battles got louder when you made up your mind to step forward. Because hell notices movement. The moment you began to align with me, the opposition did not celebrate, it resisted. But resistance is not defeat. Sometimes resistance is evidence that your obedience is dangerous to darkness. I need you to feel this in your bones. Chosen one, the moment you are in is not random, because your future is sensitive. There are assignments attached to your life that you cannot see yet. There are people who will be strengthened because you stayed alive. There are doors that will open because you did not quit. There are prayers being answered through your yes that you do not even know about. You have been thinking your life is only about your pain. No, your life is carrying more than your pain. Your life is carrying evidence. Your life is carrying revelation. Your life is carrying revelation. Your life is carrying testimony. Your life is carrying a weight of glory that one day will make sense to you. I told you through Paul, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory," in 2 Corinthians 4:17. Hear the mystery inside that verse. What is pressing you now is not the end of you. It is working for you. It is producing glory. It is creating capacity. It is shaping you for what I already prepared. There are moments in life when heaven leans close and says, "Pay attention." This is where the story turns. This is one of those moments. You may not yet see the external shift, but something internal has already begun. Your spirit has started waking up. Your discernment is sharpening. Your tolerance for false comfort is decreasing. Your desire for truth is increasing. Your ability to sense what is of me and what is not of me is rising. That is not small. That is me. I am making you less dependent on appearances and more dependent on my presence. Less impressed by noise, more sensitive to truth. Less interested in shallow approval, more anchored in purpose. And because this is happening, the next steps of your life will not look like the old ones. The timing will feel different. The doors will feel different. The people will feel different. Even your own heart will feel different because I am changing what it can carry. I see the one watching this who is exhausted from trying to stay strong. You have worn strength like armor until your shoulders hurt. You have kept going because you had no other choice. You have answered messages with courage while your inner world was shaking. You have looked normal while feeling undone. I see you, and I say this gently. You were never meant to survive by pretending nothing hurts. You were meant to bring the hurt into my light. You were meant to let me touch the place that feels unfinished. You were meant to let me reach the hidden fracture, the silent ache. The ache no one noticed because you learned how to hide it so well. But hiding is ending now. This moment matters because I am calling you into honesty with me. Not performance, not religious noise, not polished words. Honesty. Tell me what is heavy. Tell me what made you numb. Tell me where you stopped believing. Tell me where fear has been whispering. Tell me where the loneliness became louder than hope. I can handle your truth. I am not intimidated by your tears. I am not repelled by your questions. I am not offended by your weakness. I already knew it all, and I stayed. That is what love does. That is what I do. When Jesus wept, it was not because he lacked power. It was because my heart is tender toward human sorrow. And when he said in Matthew 11:28, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest," he was revealing me, not temporary distraction, not shallow relief. Rest, rest revealing me. Rest, temporary distraction, not shallow relief. Rest for the overworked mind. Rest for the anxious heart. Rest for the soul that has been bracing for impact for too long. So hear me now, this moment is important because I am offering you rest that the world cannot manufacture. Not escape, rest. Not denial, rest. Not numbness, rest. And from that rest, strength will rise. There is another reason this moment matters, because I am watching how you respond to the pressure. Pressure reveals what has been planted. When pressure comes, what is rooted deep becomes visible. When wind blows, what is weak bends, and what is true holds. You have been in a wind season, and you have held. Not perfectly, not without tears, not without trembling, but you have held. That matters to me, because I am not only looking for your success, I am looking for your faithfulness. I am not only looking for polished outcomes, I am looking at the posture of your heart. I am not only measuring visible progress, I am measuring trust. And I am telling you, I honor the one who keeps trusting me in the dark. A day is coming when you will look back on this moment and realize it was not the breakdown, it was the beginning of rebuilding. It was not abandonment, it was preparation. It was not the end of your strength, it was the place where I taught you how to draw strength from me instead of from panic. It was not a pointless delay, it was sacred timing. For I said in Ecclesiastes 3:11, "He hath made everything beautiful in his time." Not in your rushed time, not in other people's time, in my time. And my time is not cruelty. My time is not cruelty. My time is wisdom. My time is wisdom. My time is precision. You have wanted the visible answer first. I have been working on the foundation first. You wanted the house. I was securing the ground. You wanted the fruit. I was dealing with the roots. You wanted the open door. I was preparing the person who would walk through it. That is how I love you. I do not merely hand you what you ask for. I prepare you to keep it. Because some blessings are not lost by lack. They are lost by immaturity. So I refine. I strengthen. I instruct. I test. I soften. I deepen. I build. And now, at this moment, the building is becoming noticeable. You may feel a holy tension in your spirit. That is because something is shifting from invisible to visible. A decision is being made in the spirit. A cycle is being broken. A pattern is losing authority. An old season is loosening its grip. Do not panic when familiar things start to fall away. That is not collapse. That is release. Some of you are about to notice that you can no longer tolerate what once drained you. That is me. Some of you are about to notice that certain distractions suddenly lose their power. That is me. Some of you are about to notice that you no longer feel at home in old habits, old circles, old self-definitions. That is me. I am making you uncomfortable with what cannot carry your destiny, and I will not apologize for that. Because I love you too much to let you remain in a smaller identity. I love you too much to let you settle for surviving when I created you to shine with purpose. I love you too much to let shame keep speaking over what I have already redeemed. Hear this. I am not building an ordinary life in you. I am building a testimony. I am building a testimony. I am building a lighthouse. I am building a vessel of mercy. I am building a voice that will one day comfort others with the comfort you received from me. The grief you carried will not be wasted. The rejection you endured will not be wasted. The tears you shed in private will not be wasted. The tears you shed in private will not be wasted. The night you wanted to give up will not be wasted. The seasons that made you question everything will not be wasted. I redeem waste. I turn what was discarded into a witness. I turn what was ugly into beauty. I turn what was delayed into depth. I turn what was broken into a vessel strong enough to hold more than before. Do you see now why this moment is important? Because the enemy wants you to interpret it incorrectly. He wants you to believe nothing is happening while heaven is rearranging everything. He wants you to feel stuck while I am cutting invisible ropes. He wants you to feel unseen while I am writing your name into the next chapter. You must not trust the noise of fear. You must trust the stillness of my hand. There is a prophecy in your present, not merely in words, in the fact that you are still here. You surviving what should have destroyed you is a prophecy. You waking up again after grief is a prophecy. You still caring, still hoping, still praying, still listening is a prophecy. The fact that your heart still beats with desire means I have not removed the assignment. The fact that your spirit still longs for truth means I have not finished speaking. The fact that you can still be moved by my presence means you are not beyond renewal. And renewal is coming. I am breathing life into tired places. I am breathing courage into shaky places. I am breathing vision into blurred places. I am breathing purity into compromised places. I am breathing purity into tormented places. Some of you have not been able to sleep well because your mind keeps racing. I know. Some of you have been standing at the edge of emotional exhaustion. I know. Some of you have been asking whether anybody would even notice if you disappeared into the background. I know. And I answer you with mercy. I notice. I notice every private battle. I notice every effort. I notice every tear. I notice every time you chose not to become bitter. I notice every time you almost snapped, but kept yourself in my hands instead. I notice every time you chose prayer over revenge, trust over panic, obedience over fear. That matters. The world applauds what is loud. I honor what is faithful. And I am telling you, beloved warrior of the hidden valley, the moment you are in is a sacred crossroads. One path leads deeper into doubt. The other leads deeper into trust. One path feeds the old wound. The other path lets me heal it. One path keeps you analyzing the absence. The other path teaches you to recognize my presence in the process. Choose trust. I know that is not always easy. Trust can feel like stepping onto water when you do not know the depth beneath. But Peter did not walk because he understood the sea. He walked because he heard the voice. That is your invitation now. Not to understand everything, to answer my voice. And my voice says, this moment matters because I'm doing what no person could do for you. I'm cleansing the soul from toxic grief. I'm severing agreements with shame. I am removing the labels others placed on you. I am undoing the internal damage of words that were never yours to carry. You are not what broke you. You are not what left. You are not what left. You are not what they said. You are not the mistake you regret. You are not the mistake you survived. You are not the season you survived. And when I say you are mine, I mean you belong to my care, my purpose, my discipline, my compassion, my glory, not to the rejection, not to the accusation, not to the confusion, not to the confusion, not to the fear. You belong to me. That is why this moment is so important, because ownership is being clarified in the spirit. The voice that has tried to claim you by fear is being exposed. The cycle that has tried to repeat itself is being interrupted. The heaviness that tried to sit on your chest is losing authority. The fog that kept you second-guessing yourself is beginning to lift. And when clarity comes, direction becomes easier. Do not despise the clarity that may first feel like discomfort. Sometimes truth stings before it heals. Sometimes exposure feels sharp before it sets free. But I do not expose to shame, I expose to liberate. There is a river beginning where your dry place used to be. Not because you earned it, because I am gracious. Not because you never failed, because I am faithful. Not because your strength was enough, because my strength is made perfect in weakness. That is why Paul could say, "And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." That is 2 Corinthians 12-9. Sufficient. Enough. Not barely enough. Enough. My grace is enough for your job situation. Enough for your healing process. Enough for your family tension. Enough for your unanswered questions. Enough for the next step. Enough for the nth step. Enough for the unknown. Enough for the days when you feel like you have nothing left. You do not need to be superhuman. You need to stay yielded. And here is another peek of truth for you. Chosen one, I'm about to make something so clear that the confusion will no longer be able to govern you. The mixed signals will stop. The foggy relationships will reveal their fruit. The double-minded options will lose their appeal. The distractions will become obvious. The right path will feel lighter because my hand will be on it. You have spent too long trying to decode what I never intended you to carry. Some of the confusion was not information, it was interference. Some of the pressure was not punishment, it was resistance to your forward motion. Some of the sadness was not your weakness, it was your spirit mourning what never should have been lost. I understand every layer of your experience, even the ones you cannot put into words. So let me speak over the layer beneath the layer. I am restoring trust where betrayal taught suspicion. I am restoring openness where hurt built walls. I am restoring courage where fear taught you to shrink. I am restoring expectancy where disappointment taught you to brace for disappointment again. I am restoring joy where heaviness tried to settle. And because I am restoring, this moment is not casual, it is surgical, it is strategic, it is holy. I am aligning you with the people, places, and assignments that belong in your story. I am disconnecting you from what would drain you. I am preserving what should remain. I am pruning what should remain. I am pruning what must go. I am strengthening what I intend to use. Do not be afraid of pruning. Branches do not understand the hand that cuts, but the fruit understands the life that follows. You have asked whether the pain means something is wrong. Sometimes pain means something is being removed. Sometimes pain means something dead is letting go. Sometimes pain means growth is pressing through. Do not assume every ache is an ending. Some aches are birth pains. And I am telling you, because I love you, this moment is birthing something, a truer identity, a stronger peace, a deeper discernment, a cleaner hunger, a more stable faith, a more radiant purpose. You are about to recognize yourself differently, not as the person who merely got through, but as the one I carried through, not as the one who barely survived, but as the one I preserved, not as the one who was overlooked, but as the one I was preparing in secret. There is a mantle forming around your life that will be seen by those who have spiritual eyes. Not all will understand it. Not all will honor it. But it is real, and with that mantle comes responsibility. So I am not only comforting you, I am commissioning you. I am telling you that the pain is not the final language of your life. I am telling you that your story will preach even when your mouth is silent. I am telling you that what I do in you privately will become courage for others publicly. This is why the moment matters, because what is happening now will echo later. The way you respond now will shape what you can carry later. The way you trust now will affect the size of the testimony later. So stand still in your spirit. Breathe. Release the need to control the whole picture. Release the need to understand every delay. Release the need to prove your worth to people who were never called to validate you. Release the memory that keeps whispering fear. I am here, and I do not come only to console you. I come to re-establish you. I am re-establishing peace in your mind. I am re-establishing order in your home. I am re-establishing confidence in your steps. I am re-establishing purpose where confusion tried to scatter it. I am re-establishing hope where despair tried to settle in. There is a blessing on the other side of this moment that you cannot yet fully imagine. Not a shallow blessing, a weighty one, a peace-filled one, a soul-deep one, a blessing that carries evidence of my hand. And when it arrives, you will know it was not luck. You will know it was not coincidence. You will know it was not your own cleverness. You will know that I was with you all along. I am not late. I am exact. I am not confused. I am sovereign. I am not distant. I am near. I am near distant. I am near. I am not losing track of your tears. I am collecting them. I am not wasting your waiting. I am sanctifying it. You will come to see that this moment was a turning point because something inside you chose to believe again, and that choice matters more than you realize. Belief changes posture. Belief changes endurance. Belief changes perception. Belief changes what you tolerate. Belief changes what you expect from tomorrow. So I am asking your heart, not your performance. Will you trust me here? Will you let me carry what you cannot? Will you let me interpret the season instead of letting pain interpret it for you? Will you let me be God over the pause? Because I have not left you in the pause. I have been present in it. I have been present in the unanswered prayer. I have been present in the job search. I have been present in the lonely room. I have been present in the medical report. I have been present in the waiting. I have been present in the long nights when you wondered whether any good thing would ever find you again. And I am saying now, with holy certainty, good things do not have to chase you when I am leading you. What belongs to you will align under my hand. What is yours will not miss you. What is appointed will not be stolen. What I have spoken will not fail. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. That is Jeremiah 29:11. Peace, not evil, an expected end. Do you hear how personal that is? I have thoughts toward you, not random thoughts, purposeful thoughts, peaceful thoughts, thoughts that lead somewhere good. So when the enemy tries to convince you that your life is a mistake, remember this: I have thoughts toward you. When the voices of shame say you are too far gone, remember this: I have thoughts toward you. When loneliness says nobody sees, remember this: I see. When delay says maybe never, remember this: my thoughts are peace and an expected end. That expected end is not vague. It is not empty. It is not abandoned. It is held in my wisdom, and this moment is more important than you realize because the expected end is beginning to push against the present. The future I planned is not passive. It is drawing near. It is pressing. It is preparing your next breath, your next yes, your next act of trust. So I want you to receive this with your spirit wide open. The pain did not win. The delay did not win. The rejection did not win. The fear did not win. The darkness did not win. The confusion did not win. The weariness did not win. I won. And because I won, your story is not finished. I am still writing. I am still speaking. I am still moving. I am still restoring. I am still opening what has been closed. I am still healing what has been wounded. I am still strengthening what has trembled. I am still leading you forward. Let the old fear fall off now. Let the old grief loosen now. Let the old identity break now. Let the old cycle end now. Let your heart come back to rest in the certainty of my love. You do not need to have all the answers to move with me. You only need to stay close. And as you stay close, you will begin to see it. The moment you thought was not ordinary at all. The breath you take right now matters. The listening posture you carry right now matters. The surrender rising in you right now matters. The faith you are choosing right now matters. This is how turning points are born. Quietly, wholly, deeply, then all at once in a way that makes everything before it look like preparation. And yes, the blessing is coming. The clarity is coming. The restoration is coming. The answer is coming. The peace is coming. The strength is coming. The joy is coming. But before it shows in your hands, let it settle in your heart. Be still in me. Remain in trust. Keep your spirit open. Do not let disappointment harden you into surviving without expecting. Do not let pain teach you that love is unreliable. Do not let the past define the measure of what I can do next. I am larger than your history. I am larger than your wound. I am larger than your fear. I am larger than your years you thought were lost. I am larger than every enemy that ever challenged your peace. So hold steady now, chosen one. The moment you are in is not small. It is sacred. It is charged with purpose. It is alive with my attention. It is pregnant with change. And what I am doing in you now will not remain hidden forever. My child, stay with me. If this touched your spirit, if you felt me speaking directly to your heart, then respond. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the bell, not out of habit, but because you know I am calling you closer. I am guiding your steps even now, and what I have begun in this moment, I will complete. This is just the beginning.